So what the book says, let's just cover soil real quick. What the book says, just quote some encyclopedia stuff. Every year you should add a 2 to 3 inch layer of organics. A lot of folks who use manures, compost, composted mulch material. 2-inch layer turned into the soil 1 shovel's depth, or 1 rototiller depth. Does that make sense? So if you've got a virgin plot, it's never been worked before, it's just had weeds and wildflowers and it's never been turned, it may take you 2-3 years to get that soil where it's actually viable. I mean, it'll produce some year 1, it'll produce more year 2, it'll produce even more year 3. So every year what we do with our containers is we want to add fresh soil, fresh potting soil every year. So I'll take that top layer of that, what was growing last year, there's those old roots and stuff is in there, and it's lost its viability. It's lost its vigor, juice. The soil actually gets worn out. So we take that, maybe not replace all of the soil in a bigger pot. In the small pot, we replace all of them. We'll take that soil and we dump that into our raised beds. We top off the raised beds. We're always rotating our soils. So we're actively trying to make room for new, fresh soil. Let me tell you a dirty secret. Should we tell them this?
I don't know.
So you print a bag and it says potting soil on it. Now you can shove anything you want in that and it's still called potting soil on the bag. This is where the industry takes the most shortcuts. A good quality potting soil has a lot of peat moss in it. It makes it more acidic, adds drainage, allows the plants to root yet breathe, yet it's one of the most expensive ingredients. If you're at Home Depot, we call it Home Dumpo here, or Lucifer's Lowe's. Can we say that on air? Yes, we can. Anyway, they're our main competitors. It's not Mortimer or the other folks. It's not Earthworks. It's the Boxes. Those are the predators. Anyway, we go in there and they take the shortcuts on that to beat a price point. They'll take the perlite out, those little white specks. That's like magic juice for soils because it adds air into the soil so that it doesn't, so the roots don't, they don't suffocate, they don't drown. And so you get that recipe right and the plants just take off. You get the recipe wrong, let's say with Miracle-Gro potting soil, stay away from that garbage. It's terrible soil. I know they got a marketing company that promotes them like crazy. They're the #1 seller by far, but had more clients kill plants than Miracle-Gro junk. So be careful with that stuff. It stays too wet in our climate. And so your plants won't root and they just don't take off. It's a fine line to have a soil that stays moist yet breathes. That's what you want. And so we created our own soil. We got so frustrated when you brought it. Lift that up over your head.
Oh,
3
sure.
times.
I can
We created our own soil. This is our growers mix when we start seedlings, cuttings. You can start a seed with that, but it's made to plant directly into, not to cut it with anything else. So I always try to add some of that fresh in the top layer, or I'll try to add some of that in the raised bed. If you've got a brand new raised bed, fill it with the stuff from the soil companies. They've got a gardener mix. Basically, they go and they dig out stock tanks, just heavy silt, and they get some free manure from Chino Valley. They throw that in there, and they get some wood chips from the city, and that's their gardener mix. It's not the best. I've set up a lot of community gardens where maybe it's a good filler, but I would take the top layer where the roots are going to be, put the potting soil. Put a good potting soil in that top layer. So now, when you take that new eggplant, put that in there, it's the same soil. When plants see a different soil, they're not happy. They like the same every time. Roots don't transition from one soil to the next. So if you get the same kind of soil surrounding that root, it'll just go, whoop, start to root out.